Hi there, Mr. Sutton here with the IM3 Honors 3-3 Part 1 homework solutions on dividing complex numbers.
To simplify this quotient, since we just have a single term in the denominator, we're going to multiply by I over I to get that I out of the denominator. So distributing in the numerator, we're going to have I plus 5i squared, and in the denominator we have I squared. Simplifying those I squareds to negative ones, in the numerator we can write negative 5 plus I or I minus 5, either of those. And then downstairs that's really negative 1. And we can simplify this, dividing both of these by negative 1 to give us positive 5 minus I. To simplify this quotient, we need to get the imaginary number out of the denominator. So to do that, we're going to multiply by I over I, and that's going to give us 7i in the numerator, negative 2i squared in the denominator. I squared is really negative 1, so negative 2 times negative 1 gives us positive 2 down there, and now we're simplified. To simplify this quotient, we're going to multiply by I over I, since we just have a single term in the denominator. So that's going to give us negative 4i over negative 8i squared. And now we simplify that I squared to negative 1. So negative 1 times negative 8 gives us positive 8. And then we can reduce the 4 over 8 to 1 over 2. So when the dust settles, we still have a negative I in the numerator and a 2 in the denominator. To simplify this quotient, we need to get the I out of the denominator. Since there's only a single term in the denominator, we can do this by multiplying by I over itself. So that's going to be 5i over 4i squared. And since I squared is really negative 1, this is going to be negative 5i over 4. To simplify this expression, we need to get the I out of the denominator. So we can do that since there's only a single term down there by multiplying by I over itself. So that would be 10i over 4i squared. And there's a couple things we can do at this point. I squared is really negative 1, so that's really a negative 4 in the denominator. And we can reduce the 10 and the negative 4 to be a 5 over negative 2. We do still have an I in the numerator, so this is now going to be negative 5 over 2, or negative 5i over 2. To simplify this expression, we need to get the imaginary number out of the denominator. Since I only have a single term in the denominator, I can do this by just multiplying by I over itself. So distributing the I in the numerator, we're going to have 2i plus 5i squared, and we'll simplify the I squared to negative 1 in just a moment. In the denominator, we've got negative 6i squared. So now, since I squared is really negative 1, I can write negative 5 plus 2i in the numerator. And negative 6 times negative 1 in the denominator gives me positive 6. Can't simplify this anymore. There's no common factors to reduce by, so this one is done. To simplify this expression, we need the I to not be in the denominator. Since we only have a single term down there, we can multiply by I over I to fix this problem. Distributing the I in the numerator, we've got negative 6i minus 10i squared. In the denominator, that's going to be negative 3i squared. Since I squared is really negative 1, that means in the numerator, this negative 10i squared is a positive 10. So positive 10 minus 6i, we put that in a complex number form. And then down here, we have negative 3 times negative 1, so that's positive 3 in the denominator. Can't reduce this by anything, so this is done.